Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Oh, today we're going to be taking a look at the full review of the Finch Knife Company Runtly. Did a unboxing, first impression here a while back, a few days ago. This is an Apex pass-around knife. It was provided by Finch to the pass-around group, so thank you very much to them for that. Just a little bit of background. Finch Knife Company is out of Stillwell, Kansas. Stephen Laughlin and Spencer Marquardt basically are Finch Knife Company. And the Finch, the Runtly, is built by Bestech. So if you remember back in my unboxing and first impressions, there was something that was drawing me to this knife. Something that was really drawn to me. One, obviously, now that I know it's a Bestech built knife, that was definitely probably part of it. Bestech knives, fantastic knives. And there's one other little thing that I'll point out here in just a minute. But let's zoom out and we'll take a better look at the Runtly. Get my kickstand out of the way there. There you go. This is the Runtly. Now it starts out, you got a nice G10 handle there. Very neutral in nature. You've got, again, a very neutral milled titanium pocket clip, which I like. I like that a lot. It's just a good, clean look. G10 backspacer. Stainless liners there. Now, that could come into play a little bit later. We'll talk about it just a little bit later. And then, you know, one of the aspects that I really do like about this knife, and to be perfectly honest with you, it got a couple of not so favorable comments, we'll say. Not bad, but just not favorable, is this shield. Now, the thing about this shield is it's the same material that you find, you know, like a jewel on a watch. Because, well, that kind of brings in Stephen Laughlin is the owner of Raven Watches. So you kind of get a little bit of Stephen's, let's see here if we can see this, watch background in this jewel. So there you go. You can tell it kind of lights up. I know it doesn't show that well here in the light. But you know, I actually think it looks pretty classy to me, honestly. It really, really does. I like that aspect of the knife. It is a flipper, runs on bearings, and it is a liner lock. Our liner, we're looking at, it's about, I call it about 20% on the lockup. If you can get a little bit of more light in there. Yeah, I'd call it about 20% on the lockup. Nice action on it. I do like the action. Get it past the detent ball. Comes down pretty easily. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of blade there, but you got to get it past that detent ball. Speaking of the detent, dialed in pretty darn well. Yeah, that detent is definitely dialed in. Now there you go. You got this nice sort of, well, utility style blade, really. I mean, it has that utility blade look to it, N690. There you got the little Runtly. A Finch, of course. What I really like on it, if I can get it to show, is you've got, there we go. You've got the satin flats, and then you've got that stone-washed grind. I really, really like the looks of that. I really like that contrasting look of the grind. Dang, that looks good. I personally enjoy that quite a bit. Aesthetically, it's just really, really pleasing. Now there you go. You do have a nail nick. So if you want to go old school on it and open it with a nail nick, you can most certainly do that. Now back to the flipper there. You do have some jimping. Jimping is very well done. It's just aggressive enough. But what I like about that jimping is you do have a sharpening choil there. Don't have a forward finger choil, because if you had a forward finger choil, you wouldn't have a whole lot of blade left. But with that jimping down there, gives you a good purchase on the flipper tab where it comes around, and it will protect you if you don't want to get up there. But I found myself getting up there. You do have to be careful because it is angled forward towards the blade. So that is definitely something you have to keep in mind if you're going to use it like that. But I found it extremely comfortable to use in this manner. And of course, you can get up there for some, excuse me, some fantastic draw cuts. To me, this is definitely a great utilitarian knife. Well, let's back up a minute. I need to back up because it kind of serves a dual role for me. I find it a great utilitarian style knife, but just with that classic clean look and that shield and just the whole, I find this to be what I would consider a really nice kind of gentleman's carry type knife. Honestly, yes, you've got that utilitarian blade on it that you can just put this little guy to work. I mean, smaller tasks. Now at work, it wasn't a bad rope knife. The blade, trust me, I can cut some rope with this guy, and I did. But blade's just a little short for what I would consider my working purpose. You know, if I'm making that clear enough. But it'll definitely do some good stuff on the smaller type ropes for sure. It'll eat through those, not an issue. But just a really, really cool little knife. Let's get some measurements on it. Let's see. There we go. There we go. So what do we got here? What does the Runtly give us? Well, it gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 3/4. Yeah, about 5 3/4 fully open. It's going to give you a handle length of about 3 1/4, and then roughly about a 2 and almost 2.5 inch blade length with just about a we'll call it 2 1/4 inch cutting edge. Grip length, definitely a smaller knife. So your grip length, you're looking at about 2 3/4 inches on your grip length, and that's how it looks in my 3 3/4 inch hand. Now, I can get, if I'm not, like I said, if I'm not forward, I can still get about a 3 1/2 to 3 3/4 finger grip on it. And I mean, that little guy is locked in there. If I choke up, like I did quite a bit, and as I said, loved using it in this grip. I mean, it was really, I mean, for cutting rope, you know, I mean, that's going to be my grip. Terrific little knife. Built, oh my goodness, the build on this. It's a Best Tech knife, guys. As I always say, I have not met a Best Tech that I haven't liked. I mean, very, very well built. Screws are recessed nicely, even up here in the pocket clip. The pivot's not quite recessed fully, but still not a whole lot protruding. There you go, on that screw. I mean, just a super, super well done knife. Extremely, extremely well built. Now, I told you in my, oh wait, almost forgot to get a weight on it. because I kind of wanted to mention that a little bit. So overall weight, we're looking at 3.2 ounces or 90 grams. To me, that's not a bad weight at all. Now, I did talk about the liners not being no weight relief. I mean, yes, if there was, you could probably lose a little bit. But at the current weight, I'm not so sure you would get rid of a lot. You might get it right down to 3 ounces. Carries fantastically, carries great in that little fifth pocket. You do have a little bit showing, about a ½ inch maybe. Yeah, about a ½ inch. So pretty much standard with most non-deep carry knives. But there again, like I said, in that weight, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not a big knife, so you're not going to lose a whole lot. You could lose a little, but the weight is no issue for me at all. I mean, it's 3.2 ounces. There's no issue with the weight. Cool little knife. But like I said, there was a strange draw that drew me to this knife. And finding out that it's Best Tech built, well, that's a good one. The other one was, it's inspired by a fishing lure. Oh, imagine that. Fishing lure. Yep, it is inspired by Hedon Fishing Lures. They're river runt. Now, if you don't know fishing, and I mean, I wasn't 100%, I did not know exactly what the river runt looked like, so I had to go look it up. And there you go. Oh, yeah, JB learned a trick. Huh. But yeah, it is fashioned after or inspired by a fishing lure, which I thought that was pretty cool. Now, as I said, G10 titanium clip, N690. I did get a few comments in my unboxing about, you know, price and materials, and that's something that I do talk about quite a bit, you know. And as a matter of fact, I just talked about that quite a bit with CRKT. And that is very true. If you remember also, my issue with CRKT is the finish work on their knives. Well, this little guy, well, it actually comes in 3 different colors. You've got the black, you've got the yellow. The black is the black shiner. The yellow is the yellow belly. And then you've got a more, you know, the natural G10. That is the ghost green. And sells for about $139. And that's where I kind of got some comments, you know, about price and materials. And yep, definitely. But as JT just put out a fantastic video, and I linked that into my CRKT wrap-up. I linked his video about steels and, you know, value and stuff like that. And I was kind of hard on CRKT. You know, the one thing that I probably did leave out that JT didn't is the value is within the person. And the only, no matter what I tell you or what JT tells you or what Nick Shabazz tells you, the value has to be there for you. CRKT, it wasn't. Now this one, due to the inspiration and just the multi-facet that I see in this knife, you know, I'm seeing the value in this little guy. You might not, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody has to make that decision for themselves. But overall, just a cool little knife. I really enjoyed getting a look at it. Stay tuned, guys. Finch has got some really cool looking designs coming out, this being their first. They've got 2 more knives in the pipeline. They've got the Tycoona and the Model 1929, which, oh, that one's kind of drawing me in. So really looking forward to what else Runtly puts out on the market. For a first, guys, for a first knife, I think they did really, really well. So congratulations to Finch. Congratulations on getting your first knife to market. That's absolutely fantastic. Hope to see more great things from you guys. So thanks again to Finch for providing this to the Apex Pass Around group. And thank you guys for spending some time with me checking out the Finch Knife Company Runtly. As always, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. You know I love talking to you. Till next time, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.